lot that he's fighting myself at super middle. If I decide to fight again, then GGG Golovkin is an option for me to fight. I mean, you know me, Ed, I fear no man. I'll take anybody on. I've shown that. Look at my lineup in my whole profession. Golovkin is a middleweight, and if he's talking about stepping down to light middle, it just shows that he's not going to be a big super middleweight. Will he bring the power up? Is he still going to be a ferocious puncher? Can he do it at super middle? We don't know. If he fights me, we'll find out. And like I said, if I do decide to fight again, he's definitely a potential opponent. That's somebody that he would get me excited and motivated.
Well, that's definitely. It's a big fight. I mean, it could be over here in the stadium. I mean, it would be a Vegas fight if you wanted to make it there. It's certainly. And if I'm honest, I even think he could win that one.
Why is he laughing when he says that?
He looked indestructible early in his career, but maybe in his last 2 or 3 performances he's looked a little bit more human and a little bit more vulnerable.
He takes a lot of shots coming forward, but he's obviously very good. I mean, he beat Andre Durrell in the amateurs in the Olympics, so he can box. You don't win Olympic medals if you're not technically proficient, which is what he is, and he's a ferocious puncher. But I'll go back to what I said earlier. That's at middleweight, and a lot of fighters step up from middleweight to super middleweight and even light heavyweight, and they don't carry the power with them. And he's not real fast, skillful like some of the Americans, bringing that speed and skill up. I think he will struggle at super middleweight. I really do. And if I do decide to fight again, that would be.
Which way are you leaning at the moment?
You flip a coin and we'll make the decision, heads or tails. I've got a meeting next week with Eddie Hearn and my trainer Rob McCracken, and I think early June at the latest I'll be making an announcement on what I'm going to do.
But you must know in your heart, what is your, it's a year now, are you starting to miss it, or are you starting to feel
one thing you're not going to get out of me is an answer tonight on what I'm doing, because I honestly don't know. I've got a meeting next week and we're going to go through my options, have a look at what potentially I can do moving forward, and if anything's there that seems realistic and feasible, I'm going to go back into the gym after I've made a decision and then see how I feel.
You've not let your weight go up at all, you always stay in shape. But fighting again after a year out or over a year out, will that be an issue at all if you do decide?
Potentially it is an issue. I mean, it doesn't always have a happy ending when fighters have too long out of the ring. I mean, look at my coach, Rob McCracken. He had a year out, then he boxed, who did he box for the world title in America? And then he boxed Howard Eastman and lost on points. I think it was Keith Holmes he boxed after a year out, and he lost, he didn't have that engine that he needed. And then he had 13 months out, lost to Howard Eastman. And there's many fighters before Rob, my coach, who's had too long out, then got back in. But I don't go overweight. I feel fresh. I live clean, and I'm still keeping myself fit. So I don't think it'd be a massive issue. But I would need a good camp. I'd need some good rounds of sparring. We'll get Tony Bellew in. That'll be like a fight for me. Having a good 12 rounds with Bellew. Maybe not actually as a cruiserweight. So that probably won't go down too well. But I'd have some good gym sessions, a real good workout, some great spars. And then I'm sure I'd be fine straight back at the top level. I don't think I'd want a warm-up fight. I'd want to go straight back in with a great fight. I mean, Floyd Mayweather does it all the time. I'm not putting myself in the same class as Floyd Mayweather, by no stretch of the imagination. But when you're competing at top level, if you're that kind of competitor, you can get straight back in there with a big fight. So if I do decide to fight again, I want to get straight back in there with a serious competitor. But someone like Golovkin, if he's going to come up to super middleweight, and if I'm going to fight again, it's a fight that's exciting.
Well, moving on now, let's focus for your